Welcome to this little introduction to 3039 for the fall of 2017. This is just a brief introduction and orientation to some of the themes and activities of the course, just to help you be a little more prepared before the first day. So the theme of the course is around organizational counseling broadly, the notion of helping relationships and how those principles that have been studied so far translate into specific activities in the field of leadership and through the activity of coaching as a method for supporting leadership development. So the learning goals for this course are to learn something about organizations, about leadership, and about development. In addition, to gain some skills specifically about coaching other leaders in relation to the kinds of development that we want to foster in the class. So there's a number of methods we're going to use for this. We are going to use Blackboard for the first time in this course. And as discussed previously in the spring, we're going to try and use that in some creative ways to help us have a richer and more informed conversation during the classes themselves. A brief word about that. The classes run all day, Mondays and Wednesdays, over 7 different days in the fall. And the idea with having all-day classes is we really get into a working rhythm. We have time to check in, we have time to discuss ideas and theories, we have time to apply them, do exercises, practice, and work on practicalities for the coaching assignments that we'll do. So in Blackboard, you will find a number of things set up in the calendar. There's a number of assignments, discussion forums, and we'll just go over those briefly here. So the first thing we want to do is be prepared. And that means having not only read material before class, but demonstrated that by responding to the assignments and discussion threads by posting 3 different types of questions that you'll see on the assignment and in the discussion forums. And once you post your questions, feel free to have a look through and see what other people are saying and reply to them, respond, have a little bit of conversation. The deadline for that is 24 hours before the class, which will give me some time to read through these. This is very helpful for me in preparing for class, because it gives me an idea of what kind of themes or questions are needing attention, and then I can devote some time and energy to being ready to look at those more specifically in class. So we have these set up for the first 5 of the 7 days. The last 2 days we won't worry about having these because we don't have so much in the way of readings then. There are also 2 written assignments. The first one you'll see a description of is due, I believe, the 8th of October. And that is after we've finished the first 4 sessions where a large part of the theory has been covered. And the idea with this assignment is to give you an opportunity to practice writing and getting some written feedback on the quality of your writing, so that when you go into the exam, you have some idea of the expectations and where you are in relation to those. The second written assignment comes early in December. It's a week after the coaching videos. And that assignment will ask you to describe your coaching project and the presentation of it and discussion around it and your reflections and learnings from that. This is also to help prepare you for the exam, where one of the challenges we've seen is that the expectations around what reflection on your own experience means and the degree of that we're expecting are not always clear. So this way you will get to have a written assignment with some feedback on it that you will get prior to the exam being due. The next activity, of course, is the coaching project itself. And we will talk about that a lot more during class, but briefly, we will set it up so that you will become kind of a little entrepreneurial coaching school, and you will use different means to put out information about your services to different student leaders. This has been going on for a number of years now, so these people are kind of used to this and often looking for it. And managing that process to find student leaders who are interested in having some coaching. And of course, what you're going to do then is prepare to practice the coaching skills we will read and talk about by having 2 sessions with this person. In between, we will have a class session where you will have the opportunity to kind of prepare and think about how would I take what I've learned from the first session and try some things out in the second one that might be useful for them. So we will spend some time practicing coaching skills with each other in the class, as well then as thinking about how to prepare for our clients, coachees, and then pulling that all together in presenting those on the second to last day of class, where you will create a 10-minute video. You will frame to us kind of what your theme is, what the learnings are, what you want people to be looking for, and then have questions and feedback on the coaching that you did. In the classes themselves, of course, the idea of having these questions about the readings ahead of time is to get us more deeply engaged in the subject material and provide more opportunity to take time to utilize different exercises and activities to try and ground the material in our own experience more. We'll also open up some other discussion threads on Blackboard, because one of the things we want to encourage is for you to meet outside of class in little study groups. And if that isn't always convenient, then having an online forum to share ideas and see what other people are thinking and discuss those outside of the class time is very helpful. Especially because after the first few weeks, there's a long gap between class sessions and not much is going on, and it's easy for other coursework and other things in life to take your attention away from this. So we're going to try and keep some activity around the course themes going during that time to keep things active in your memory. And finally, just think about the course as an opportunity to experiment, to fail, because that's the best way we learn, and to do that in a safe environment where we can support and learn from each other's experiences. And hopefully through all of this, have some fun. So I look forward to seeing you on the 21st of August and look forward to the course.